So think for a moment about sin and the way that it affects you in your everyday life, and how your sin has maybe grown to epic proportions where maybe you feel sick, physically or mentally. Maybe the sin is carrying out in your lives, and it's affecting others because of how you feel, and you can't have that peace with God, that one-on-one divine connection with Him that He so desires. My phone is sitting on a table right now, and I can't move it because then you couldn't see me. But imagine for a moment, whatever the nearest solid surfaced object is next to you, that you have one nail and one hammer. And the more you say, it starts off as something simple. You just want to connect a leg to a table. So you start to pound the nail. The more you pound the nail, the deeper it becomes ingrained in the wood, and it starts to make an impact. You start to have that connection. Oftentimes when we start to make that connection with sin, it leads to more sin. So what we're doing is we're pounding away at that nail. It gets deeper and deeper. Eventually the wood will start to splinter when you go too deep. Eventually, after the wood splinters and we're still pounding away at the nail because we get so caught up in our thinking that the table begins to destruct around us. And that is so much like our life. The platform that we have will become destroyed and engulfed in the sin, and we keep pounding away at the nail, destroying everything around the simple incision that we just wanted to make the connection. See, sin has a way of creeping up on us, and sin has a way of making us a slave to things that we don't even want to do. When we're done, we'll look back at the table and we'll think, what a terrible thing that we've done. We had this nice shiny table. All we needed to do is follow the instructions and connect the pieces, and it could have been a nice centerpiece to the room. But instead, we got carried away, and it's destroyed simply because we didn't follow instructions, but we took it into our own hands. See, Romans 6:23 says, "For the wages of sin is death." However, later in Romans, it says, "For all those who call on the name of the Lord will be saved." So, I'm not giving sin the okay or the green light, and I'm not giving anybody, and I don't think it's personally okay to sin, but we're born sinful in nature. A baby, a kid, I should say, that doesn't want to share may not have ever been told or have ever been taught that. The first time that you give a baby a toy and you take it from him, their natural reaction may be to cry. Or as they get older, they may have a hard time sharing their toys. See, we're born sinful. It's our nature that originated in the Garden of Eden. And the main thing that I want to drive across here is, though we're sinners and we may be mentally or physically ill, we're also redeemed by God's grace. For all of those who call on the name of the Lord will be saved, that confess with their mouth that Jesus is Lord, and with their faith and with their hearts they believe that. So we may have a destroyed object in our life, or we may have a destroyed body or mind, but there is an instructional booklet on how to fix what you have destroyed. And the one way to do that is through Jesus Christ. To believe in His resurrection and His death, and to have faith that He will do what He said He was going to do by perfecting us into the image of Christ. So that's all I have for now. Think about sin in the way that it impacts your life and others. Think about the fact that often one sin leads to another, and the more we hammer that nail, the more destructive we become to our hearts, in our minds, and to the other people around us. God doesn't want that, but He does realize we're all sinners. So pray that He can shed His light on you and show His grace, so through your faith you may be saved, and you may be a stronger, better follower of Him, because knowledge is only half of the battle. Convictions and perspective is the other parts. We don't only just need to know what we ought to do. Paul says, "For I know what I have to do, but I hate what I actually do, and I don't do what I'm supposed to do." So once you get the knowledge, perspective, and conviction, knowing how God felt and then doing what God did is the other part of the battle. So until next time, thanks a lot. Rock on. Have a good weekend.